We're now into the third week of the racing season here in Hong Kong already. We've seen some promising horses like Excellent Proposal and Skyfield, but we don't have to wait long before the big boys are out of the track. Here's what's coming up on this edition of Hong Kong Direct, and we're going to be looking at the return of Beauty Generation and the Derby winner Golden 60. They'll clash in the Celebration Cup next weekend. Plus, we're going to look at 3 horses from the Southern Hemisphere that we should be looking out for at the track in season 2020-2021. I'm Edward Sadler. It's a pleasure to have your company on the show this week, and it's always a pleasure to have Adam Campton on the show. Hello, Adam.
G'day, Ed. It's good to be on the show again, mate. Always
good to have you on the show, Adam. Busy week here in racing in Hong Kong. Wednesday night at Happy Valley, 8 races, 3 winners for Casper Founds. The King of the Valley's really come out of the blocks charging, hasn't he?
Yes, you're spot on. It has been a busy week, but Casper continues to get his horses to fire on both at Sha Tin and Happy Valley, but Happy Valley was another big night for him. It is very early on in the season, but he's got plenty of bullets there left for the whole season, and I wouldn't be shocked if Casper went all the way this season. He's got a great team behind him.
So you could see him potentially challenging the likes of John Size and the Trainers title this season?
Yeah, definitely. I think those horses that have been winning, they still look like they've got plenty left in hand, so I wouldn't be shocked if a couple of them came out and won a few more on the bounce, and if they do, some of those young horses coming through the ranks that we'll talk a bit about one later on, I think if he can continue to get them to win, I reckon Casper could go all the way.
OK, well, it's certainly been a good start for Casper Founds. We've got a big week coming up here in Hong Kong. The Celebration Cup comes up on Sunday week. Beauty Generation has won the race for the last 3 years in a row, but this year there's going to be a new rival for him.
Beauty Generation, he's fighting, there's plenty of fight in those legs of his, and he's going to win the Chairman's Trophy again.
He just wins more than he loses. He's a real competitor, and clearly the way his track work is, he saves his best for race day, and that's what champions do. They don't leave their form on the track.
Golden 60's a length away, he's the only danger. Player Del Puente, still a length, Golden 60, he's running out of time, he's coming now, Golden 60 drives, he's won it!
He's a superstar, and as I said, I'm so grateful to be on him, and hopefully we will, have more success this coming years, especially this year. Hopefully aim for some more Group 1s, and let's see what happens.
These good horses, they look after you. If you look after them, they look after you. And he came from John Moore in terrific order, and just gives me the impression there's a little bit more in the old boy's tank yet.
Beauty Generation in front, the champ's lifting strongly, and he's going to get his 3rd victory in the Queen's Silver Jubilee Cup, his 3rd crown, and 8 Group 1s now for the champ, Beauty Generation.
First time he faced the big boys, and they both have, they're both champion. Beauty Generation, no doubt. It'll be a tough race.
Golden 60's gone to the top. He's cleared out by 2 lengths on Fat Turtle, and then came Champion's Way. But Vincent, Golden 60 executes the victory to perfection.
Golden 60, he's done everything you could ask of a horse. 10 wins, Derby winner. He's been rested from the Derby. The new champ, surely going to be a hard horse to beat, but it'll be an intriguing battle, the old bull versus the young bull. 1400 Sha Tin, Beauty Generation's got a good record, so he'll be a hard nut to beat.
Physically and mentally is growing, and physically it's getting stronger. So very happy the way he is through the summer.
Now the explosive turn of foot is in here from Golden 60. He's race clear now, more than this giving chase with Champion's Way. He's been the gold standard so far, and Golden 60 stretches his record even further.
Beauty Generation 150 out. Hurton starts pushing. White Cuckoo's running on. Car Ying Star, but Beauty Generation starting to tire, but the champ is back in fine form.
Look, for the Croc family, who are great supporters of Hong Kong racing, to have a horse like Beauty Generation to break the record and win 19, he's at 18, would be a huge thrill. I just think it's a matter of time.
It's such an exciting clash to have, and so early on in the season too, Adam. Beauty Generation, one of the heavyweight champions, the heavyweight champion really of Hong Kong racing, up against Golden 60. Let's start off with Beauty Generation. He might have lost that aura of invincibility last season. That winning streak came to an end, but he also proved that even though he's getting older, he's still got what it takes to be competitive and at times to win at the top level.
Yeah, definitely. David Hayes summed it up perfectly. He's just a competitor, the horse. He doesn't know when to stop. And I thought his recent trial was good. There was a few people who might not have thought he's at his best, but he has had a little while off, and he is a big horse, and he did look pretty big in condition, so he would have taken a lot of benefit out of that trial. I like the way he warmed up over the last 100 metres, and Golden 60, of course, is the star on the rise, but this old boy just continues to show up, and he makes his own luck. He goes up on speed, and he doesn't go slowly. He tries to break his rivals' hearts. And if he comes back bigger and better, the young fella's going to have to really step up to the plate to get past him.
One thing we should point out with this race too, it is under handicap conditions. I know that Beauty Generation's rating did come down slightly through last season, but he is going to have to carry the top weight of 133.
Yeah, he is, and that's a huge tick for Golden 60, but Beauty Generation's proven time and time again that he can carry the big weight. That doesn't worry him. It's just if he produces his best on the day, he wins. It's pretty simple. He's a competitor and he's a champion, and I'd love to see him back to his best this season, and it would really, really set up a great clash between the young and the old.
You referred to it before, but let's have a closer look at that trial that you spoke of with Beauty Generation. This was on Tuesday morning. He jumped out of the gates quite well, Adam, but was beaten by some speedier types. I thought for mine, the best part of his trial was through the line. Yeah,
definitely right. Through the line was his best. He is getting a little bit older, so it is a bit tougher to keep up with these younger horses, and I really like this part here when he just started to run through the line and warm up his engine. In saying that, it was a nice little trial from Southern Legend in behind him as well. So there's some nice horses in the trial, and but of course, Beauty Generation, if he's at the trials or on racetrack, he just has a will to want to win.
And Golden 60, well, he was super last season. Perfect, 7 from 7, a clean sweep of the 4-year-old series. He's such an exciting horse to have here in Hong Kong. On paper, though, this looks like his toughest task to date.
Oh, definitely. He's not against 4-year-olds anymore. He's taken on the big boys now. And if you want to go through the grades and you want to prove to the world that you are one of the best, it's his time to step up now. But I don't know what it is about this horse, and I think a lot of people are the same. Every time I talk about him, he sort of gives you that goosebumps. He's got an incredible engine, and I just love him as a horse. He's got a bit of that mongrel about him, a bit of swagger, and the good horses have that. And I think he could be very, very special. And I love horses that get back and launch late and just pin their ears back and, set their sight on that target and just go straight past them. And some of those wins that we just watched then and last season, they were pretty freakish. And I think, Francis, he doesn't say much, and neither does Vincent, but it seems like they might have got him a bit more mature and a bit bigger this season, and that could be very, very exciting.
Well, I think we saw in that package there as well too that Vincent described him as a superstar, and Vincent isn't someone that gets carried away with things unnecessarily. One critique I would have about Golden 60, I don't think he beat a vintage crop of 4-year-olds when he was winning that 4-year-old series, those 4-year-old series races last season. For mine, what was most impressive was how he beat them.
Yeah, you can only beat what's in front of you, but you are spot on. He probably didn't beat no world beaters there, but that Derby win, I remember watching that down on the fence, and you don't see many horses come from where he came from, and the way he just pinned his ears back and just let rip down the straight. And I haven't seen a horse do that in a very, very long time. And this is a big thing to say, but I think if he can produce first up at the end of the month, go past Beauty Generation, and with a bit of arrogance, I think he could stamp himself as one of the best horses in the world.
Yeah, so I think he's definitely going to prove, or could definitely prove this season that he's the best in Hong Kong. Let's have a look at his trial. This is on Thursday morning. It's worth noting, Adam, this is the second trial that he's had this season. He hasn't raced since his heroic victory in the Derby. It's just been a case of the trials of keeping him ticking over, giving him a hit out, but not anything too serious.
Yeah, I was a bit curious as to why they didn't trial him on the turf on the Tuesday. This track Thursday morning was a bit choppy. They had a fair bit of rain, but it just goes to show that Vincent is grown as a mature rider. He kept him out of trouble. He didn't want the horse to get any kickback. And, you know, there would have been a few jockeys there that would have wanted to try and test this engine right now and see if he still has it. But I think it just goes to show the bond these two have together. Vincent's really looked after him in the trial. And he just, I've said it to you before, he gets along the ground as if he's a panther. Like, he just floats along the ground, either the all-weather track or the turf. I don't think he really enjoys the all-weather track, but he just, you know, he's just a good horse. And, you know, it was just a day out for him to just go and stretch the legs.
And one more point we should make about this race coming up on Sunday week is that even though it might be the first clash between these two horses, it might not be the last. Of course, this is just a building block really towards their second Sunday in December, Hong Kong International Races Day.
Yeah, definitely right. By all reports, he is going to go to the mile, but we don't know. That can change. And he is by Medaglia d'Oro, and he did prove in the Derby that 2,000 metres was no concern whatsoever. So, you know, if he is looking like he could step up and continue to take on a lesser field in the 2,000, and if Beauty Generation does look like he's at that invincibility again, that'll be up to Francis to choose where he goes.
Yes, it's a mouth-watering clash, and there'll be more on that on the show next week. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a break here on Hong Kong Direct. Afterwards, we're going to find you some winners for the future from the Southern Hemisphere.